this video I'll show you 5 deep house style drops that every producer should know. There's one that is my favorite and it's actually a trend right now, so you don't want to miss it to jump into the trend. But all of these have something in common. They are minimalist drops. For example, the short note style drop. This consists in a chord type of drop where depending on the sound we can add different style of rhythms or keep them as a sustained chord. For example, here we have this chord from Selected Volume 2. Which, as you can see, is a short note. So I think I'll play this in a rhythm chordy style drop. So what a lot of producers do is to add some triplets. This usually adds like extra kind of rhythm, especially if you combine it with a 4/4 housey drum pattern. So I'll start on D. And we can do a chord, yeah, F. Maybe here. Then we can go down to A, and why not G? Actually, I think here we can go up. Yeah. Awesome, so now you can copy the bass line. For this I'm gonna use a re-select from Selected Volume 2. And then if we play all together, we can of course try with new sounds or even automate stuff like I'm gonna do it here. For example, we have this other sound. Which, as you can hear, is more like a kind of sustained chord. So we can apply the same concept, but this time we are going to sustain the notes. Basically not much rhythm, but we are going to complement it with the drums and atmosphere sounds. We delete all the notes. We make them sustained notes. And the same thing for the bass line. As you can see, I'm complementing it with some toms and more stuff to make it more interesting. And same as the other, try to tweak a bit on the preset to make it even more interesting. I actually found this preset that is really cool. Yeah. If you're liking this, click the subscribe button. It's free. Come on. Okay, but this is the most popular style drop in the genre these past years. I call this one the melodic third. This has nothing to do with music theory or music intervals. I just call it this way because this is kind of a melodic drop where the third of the root note has a very important role. Let's see. So I found in Selector this cool sound that I will be using. Very classic and melodic sound, but I'll go again to the chord section to explain something very important. Oh, by the way, if you like these presets, these are from Selected Volume 2, Ofive's new preset pack with more than 200 presets, plus 3 extra free bonuses. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description. Okay, so for the chords, I'm gonna actually complete the chords, the triad. So these are the natural major and minor chords that we were using. Actually, we were using the bottom and the middle note, but I'll explain why these are important. So we are going to create a melody and we want it to fit with the chords. So it's important to understand what are the root notes of these chords. And it's basically the note that gives the name to the chord. So it's the first note of the chord. In this case, this is the basic form so the root notes are the bottom one, but in this case I have a D minor chord here and the root note is the name, so it's the D. Same thing for this one, and for this one. So this is the first note of the chord. So to make it short and simple, a triad is a chord of 3 notes. We have the root note or the first, the third, and the fifth. These are called like this because these are the notes of the scale. We are on the scale of A minor, meaning that we are going to use only the white notes, avoiding the black notes here. So this will be the first, this will be second, third, fourth, and fifth. For this type of chords, we are going to remove the second and the fourth. This is basic theory, but you need to understand this for the trick. So the trick here is to play with the first and the third of the chord. This will give you this kind of emotion most deep house track are looking for. But now, instead of leaving it like this, we are going to play the third 1 octave higher, which will give more contrast because it's a lower but with a higher note, and those jumps plus with the motion of the first and third note are an awesome combination that I love. So as again, starting with the root note, we're going to write a melody. Yeah, what I really like about this preset is that you can play with the velocity. Not all the presets have this, and in this case I'm playing with the filter on the velocity, so the higher, the more open is the filter. Remember that this is just a guide. You can move out of the third or the root note, but in general terms this will work pretty well. And just with this simple guide, in seconds I made this melody. The next one is the key for clavish tracks. These club tracks need strong and fat bass lines, and this one is pretty simple. We're going to select a bass, it must be a long bass. I selected this one. So then you can write long notes in the piano roll and you will have the drop. In this case, less is more, and then you can add some elements to complement, such as more drums, synths, or a vocal. So in the context of a song, as you can hear, I'm complementing it with some atmosphere sounds and a vocal chop. Or for example, here I added a vocal. And if we also add some kind of automations, we'll make it more interesting. Following the same concept, we can give this some minimal but with more rhythm. So I found this sub bass, which has a nice attack and I can use for shorter notes. So let's write a bass line. In this step, we are kind of combining the first one with the last step of the bass line. So I'm gonna go for triplets. This type of bass line usually works pretty well if you play the kick and the bass only at the beginning. Then you can add more sounds to make it more interesting, but especially at the first few bars, this usually works pretty well. And then we can add more elements such as vocal chops or atmosphere sounds. Now, this type of drop or lead become so popular and a trend these days. Some people call it stutter lead, but I prefer to call it like a LFO lead. One of the most popular tracks that follows this concept is Ascend by Desco, a producer friend of mine, which I send a shout out. With just a lead and automation, you can do a lot. So let's see how you can do it. The first step will be to select or to create a sound that you like. Let me find one. I will probably go for a kind of plucky sound because they already have this kind of filter envelope automation, making it plucky. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Yeah, I really like this one. So this is not a plug, but as you can see, it's using the envelope for the cutoff. So what we will do here is to do the same thing, but using the LFO. So basically bypass here. You can see that now we have no automation or envelope while I'm playing. And now we are going to draw a similar envelope, something like this. And this to the cutoff. And I don't want this to go all the way down. I want to hear a little bit of the sound. So this will be like a sustain knob. So let's leave it like here. Yeah, send this to trigger. And this is Pucho, I'm sorry. Hey. Say hi as on every video. And let's move. I have to work, Pucho. Now let's turn off the BPM button, and now you can see here that it's on hertz. And if we move the rate and we play at the same time, we have this kind of LFO effect that we want. Now we are losing the sound, but because we have the sustain down here, so let's move it up. So the idea here will be to automate this to create a lead. I'm gonna use the same chords that we have earlier. Now we place the pattern on the track, and here I'm gonna move the rate. Yeah, add automation, and now we are going to play a little bit with this. One octave lower maybe. So now we want to keep it on time for the part that we have with the kicks, but it's kind of hard to be on time with chords. That's why it's usually better to use BPM, but there's a certain hertz value that it's the same as a certain BPM value. We can go to a BPM tempo calculator. We are now on 128 BPM. So this will be this line. Let's try maybe, I don't know, 1/8 notes. So we should go for 4133 hertz. What you can do to keep it way more simple is to basically duplicate this, create a new pattern, copy the melody and set this for the drop. But then for the duplicated layer, we are going to set it to BPM, and here we have a better tempo to play. I'm adding also some reverb and kickstart for the part of the kicks. If you also select the triple and dotted, you can see more options here. Actually, I really like 1/16 notes, and yeah, in minutes we have a pretty good and trending track. know building a track around this could be complicated, so watch this video to see how to make a modern deep house track from scratch while I'm showing all the process. So click here and I see you there.